بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وبه نستعين على أمور الدنيا والدين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي Inshallah. Now we are in the book of سفينة النجاة, the ship of salvation, which will teach us inshallah the very basics about our deen, about our salat, about our sadaqahs, fasting and janazah, and how to pray. The very basic, at the very least, each Muslim should know. Inshallah, we've done the obligatory acts of wudu. Furudul wudu, we said there are 6. Those are things that you must do when you are performing a wudu. And then we've continued. We've talked about water and things that makes having shower compulsory. We've spoken about them. Now, and also the compulsory act of ritual bath. We've said, we've talked about that one. And now we are on shurutul wudu'i 10. These are the things, furudul wudu. There's a difference between furudul wudu and shurutul wudu. The compulsory furud, what is fard, that you must do while you are performing your wudu. Shurutul wudu 10. These are the conditions of wudu. These are the things that are done before you perform the wudu. These 10 things must be found for your wudu to be accepted. The first one is al-Islamu. فَلَا يَصِحُّ مِنْ كَافِرٍ. The first one, you must be a Muslim. It will not be accepted for the one who is not a believer, his wudu, because the wudu itself is ibadah. Ibadah of the ibadah is known as ibadah badaniya, ibadah performing by the body. Also, these same conditions apply when you are having a ritual bath. These similar conditions do apply when you are performing your ritual bath. The first one we said, al-Islam, فَلَا يَصِحُّ مِنْ كَافِرٍ. It means someone who is a non-believer cannot perform a wudu, because wudu itself is the act of ibadah, a worship, using your body. Therefore, someone who is a non-believer does not, even if he was to perform the wudu, is not accepted of him. Secondly, at-tamyizu, reaching the age of understanding. With the age of understanding, at-tamyiz, to be able, mumayyiz. Someone is called mumayyiz when he can eat alone and drink alone, and he can clean himself after using the toilet. Or when he uses the toilet unassisted. A child, when he reaches the age where he can eat alone, he can drink alone, and also when he goes to the toilet to clean himself unassisted, therefore he has reached the age of understanding. And also, فَلَا يَصِحُّ وُضُوءُ غَيْرِ الْمُمَيِّزِ. A wudu of someone who is not mumayyiz is not accepted, because if a young baby or a young child was to perform a wudu upside down, not knowing what is compulsory, what is sunnah and everything, therefore the wudu will not be accepted. Or somebody who is crazy, a majnoon, therefore the wudu will not be accepted. Thirdly, وَالنِّقَاءُ عَنِ الْحَيْضِ وَالنِّفَاسِ. The third condition is the cleanness from period or menstruation and postnatal bleeding. النِّقَاءُ, to be clean, that you do not have period, it is not the time of your period, from menstruation and postnatal bleeding, to make sure that you do not have afterbirth bleeding, even if you are to perform a wudu while you have your period, or while you have your postnatal bleeding, meaning after giving birth. Therefore that wudu will not be accepted. وَعَمَّا, the fourth one is وَعَمَّا يَمْنَعُ وُصُولَ الْمَاءِ إِلَى الْبَشَرَةِ. And that which someone needs to be free from, that which prevent water from reaching the skin. If there is any solid oil on your skin, or your skin is covered by anything, or there is so much dirt within your nails that water cannot touch the inside, therefore your wudu will not be accepted. It is very important to make sure that you clean. And for example, someone who's applied, those who apply the nail things, the colors, the different colors on the nails, which stops the water reaching the body, or anything else that stops water from reaching the body, you must be free from it. Make sure that you clean it and clean your nails and everything, so that your wudu can be accepted. And the fifth one, وَأَلَّا يَكُونَ عَلَى الْعُضُوِ مَا يُغَيِّرُ الْمَاءَ. And nothing should be upon the limb that will change the quality of water. For example, there's no color or anything on your skin. For example, if you wash and there's big colors or there's dirt, as soon as you wash, it goes and it changes the water quality. It changes the water color. Therefore, that will make you accept your wudu. Let's accept it. For example, za'faran. There's these colors. If you are to apply them, they will change the color into yellowish or something. Therefore, nothing should be on top of the limb that will change the color of the water or the quality of the water. And the sixth one, وَالْعِلْمُ بِفَرْضِيَّتِهِ. To have knowledge of it. The knowledge of wudu being obligatory, to have the knowledge of it, to have the knowledge that having wudu is fard, when to have your wudu, what breaks your wudu, and when to have your ritual bath, to understand that these two are fard, they are must, they are compulsory for you to do them, to know that anything that is fard, you will get the rewards to do them, and you will get the punishment if you don't do them, because anyone without the knowledge of performing the wudu, knowing what is fard, for example, washing the face and how to wash it, that is fard. Washing the hands, including the elbows, when you wash your hand, including the elbows, and applying a little bit of water, if you follow the madhab of Imam al-Shafi'i, or washing the whole of the hair, according to the other madhahib, the whole of the head, and washing your legs, including the ankles. Understanding those, if you do not understand it, your wudu is not accepted, your salat will therefore be not accepted, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish you. That is why it is very important to search the knowledge of things which are compulsory, otherwise that you will get punished. Unfortunately, wallahi, people perform the wudu with no knowledge, therefore it does affect their salat. What would it take if you take 1 full week to just learn your salat, beginning to the end, what you're saying in your salat, what is fard, what breaks your wudu, and everything? Inshallah, at the very least, the least that we can do, inshallah, is do these kind of lectures to help brothers, inshallah, understand what is fard, what is sunnah, and so that our salat are accepted, inshallah. So the 7 conditions, we said there are 10 conditions. The 7th condition, وَأَلَّا يَعْتَقِدَ فَرْضًا مِنْ فُرُوضِهِ سُنَّةٌ. Not to think, not to assume the fard, obligatory act, as sunnah. For example, washing the face, to think that it is just recommended, it is just sunnah, or washing the legs, it is just sunnah, or not having the knowledge of what is sunnah and what is fard. Therefore, that will break your wudu, that your wudu will not be counted as it exists, because you do not have knowledge. One with the knowledge will be able to differentiate what is fard and what is sunnah. And also the 8th condition, وَالْمَاءُ الطَّهُورُ. The water that itself, it is tahara, and it can also be used to perform tahara. That water must be pure for you to be able to use, not to think that water it is as najis. And also when you are performing your ritual bath, or when you are performing your wudu, you must be sure, you must try to be very sure that the water is pure, is clean, it is not used water. For example, if somebody used the water to perform the wudu and water is little amount, you cannot use it. Or if it is small amount of water in a bucket and somebody is used to perform the ghusl, therefore that is water become musta'mal, you wouldn't be able to use it. Or if the water changed because of najis going inside it, for example, the smell has changed, the color has changed, the taste has changed, therefore that water you cannot use it for wudu and you cannot use it for having a ritual bath, ghusl. The 10th one is وَالْمُوَالَاتُ لِدَائِمِ الْحَدَثِ. This is the different, it is not for everybody. This is only for those people who have difficulties, which we'll explain inshallah. Entering the time of salat and continuity for a person who constantly remain in the state of impurity. For example, someone who cannot hold urine at all. Someone at all times urine comes out. What do? Clean themselves, cover that area, have wudu and go and quickly pray, and they cannot keep that wudu for another salat. Every fard they will have to perform another wudu. Or in the state of impurity, for a woman who has got a period regularly for 6 months, for example, or a whole month, what do? Clean themselves, the private part, cover it well, go perform wudu and perform the salat immediately. وَالْمُوَالَاتُ, and entering the time of salat, وَالدُّخُولُ الْوَقْتُ, the 9th is the time of salat, وَالدُّخُولُ الْوَقْتُ, the time of salat to have reached. So step number 9 and 10, this is only special to those people who constantly remain in the state of impurity. وَدُخُولُ الْوَقْتِ, they must perform لِدَائِمِ الْحَدَثِ, someone who's continuously in the state of impurity, and we've explained, they will have to wait for the time of salat. For example, they want to pray dhuhr, they cannot perform the wudu 2-3 hours early. And also their intention is different. They will say nawaitu istibahatu salati, to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make the salat istibaha, because anyone with urine normally is not allowed to pray, but this person has this particular problem and it is continuous. Therefore salat is made mubaha for them to pray, but they have to follow these rules. The time of salat must reach. For example, they're praying salatul dhuhr, the time of dhuhr must reach. And then wal muwalat, when washing, to have continuity for a person in the state who remain in the state of impurity. We've explained that kind of person. For example, someone who said that continuously cannot hold urine, or a woman who has istihada, who continuously is in the state of having like a period, what is known as istihada, the period of illness. Inshallah, to just recap what we've said, shurutul wudu'i, there is a difference between furudul wudu'i and shurutul wudu'. Furudul wudu'i is what you do during the wudu itself, but shurutul wudu', these the conditions, is what you do outside of the wudu before you perform a wudu. These is the things that are required. Al-Islam, for you to be a Muslim, a non-believer cannot perform a wudu. What tamyizu, to be able to differentiate, what to have reached the age of understanding. If you are a child, otherwise for a little child, the wudu will not be counted. One niqa'u, to be clean from the hayd, anil haydi, from period, one nifas. وَعَمَّا يَمْنَعُ وُصُولُ الْمَاءِ إِلَى الْبَشَرَةِ, anything that stops water from reaching the body, prevents water reaching the skin. Even is very important, these people do not take it seriously. Even the dirt inside your nails, you must make sure you clean them. If there's so much dirt and it stopped water reaching the skin on your fingers, your wudu is not accepted, your salat is not accepted. It is very important. And also وَأَلَّا يَكُونَ عَلَى الْعُضُوِ مَا يُغَيِّرُ الْمَاءِ, on top of your limb there shouldn't be something impurity or anything else that will change the quality of water. If there is anything, first make sure that you clean and you clean well, and then you start performing the wudu. There shouldn't be anything that will change the color or the smell or the taste of water. And also we said وَالْعِلْمُ بِفَرْضِيَتِهِ. Brothers and sisters, this is very, very important to have knowledge about your salat. Salat is the key to Jannah. Salat is what will earn you the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore you must know what is fard, what is sunnah. Take a bit of time, taking one day off work and learning these things. If not, just listening to lectures like these, understanding them and acting upon it will make so much difference in your life. You will understand your salat will be correct, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be happy with you. You could not go in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying, Ya Allah, I did not have time to learn. Your salat will not be accepted, and it will be the reason for you to be punished because you did not care so much. You are trying to perform something without knowledge. We know that anyone performing something without knowledge, they cause a distraction. If, for example, if you are driving a car without any lessons, you will kill people with your driving. If you are a pilot, the plane is full of people without any knowledge, and you're trying to just fly the plane, you will crash it. Anything, even a ship in the sea, if you have no knowledge, you will crush people. So it's the same. You will crush your salat and destroy your salat if you do not have the knowledge of what is fard and what is sunnah. We've explained in the previous lecture about the furud al-wudu. And also the seventh, we said not to think or to assume what is fard, fard of the wudu, to assume it that it is sunnah. For example, washing face, to just think that is sunnah. And also وَالْمَاءُ الطَّهُورُ, the water that for itself is tahara. And also, what is the difference between ماء الطاهر والماء الطهور? الطهور, it is something itself is tahara, and it can give tahara to somebody else. For example, if you use the water that is used for wudu, and if you just collect it in a small amount, it's tahir. You can use it to wash your clothes, but you cannot use it to perform your wudu. The water has to be at-tahur. And then وَدُخُولُ الْوَقْتِ, those are 8 conditions, but 10 conditions, the 9th and 10th, these are for those people who are in the state of continuous impurity. They must wait for the time of salat to reach. A normal person can perform the wudu during salat al-fajr and then until isha, as long as the wudu is not broken. Therefore he can continue keeping his wudu all the way, and he can perform just with that wudu all the salat. But these people in the state of continuous impurity, constantly remaining in the state of impurity, for example, someone who cannot hold urine at all, or someone is regularly on istihada period, or illness, due to illness, some form of illness, that the blood cannot stop. What do? They clean themselves, cover themselves, perform the salat, but they have to wait for time. This condition number 9, and they have to follow continuity. Do the wudu, perform the salat immediately. If they've cleaned themselves, perform a wudu, for example, and if they were to sit down and they were to be talking on the phone and everything, blood came out or urine came out, they have to go and wash themselves and perform a wudu, and quickly. So between the wudu and also the salat, there shouldn't be big gap. Otherwise the urine or anything else will be coming, and that will cause a problem with their salat. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah, to give us the understanding. Those who are beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in this great book of fiqh, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Man yuridillahu bihi khayran yufaqihuhu fid din." Those who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want goodness for them in this life and the life after here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them understanding of the deen. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us understanding of our deen, so that when we perform our salat, we are performing it correctly, to earn the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and so that it can be the means for us to enter Jannah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us. Wallahu wa rasuluhu.